I kept a letter in the back of my drawer for 42 years, and I convinced myself I was stronger for never opening it. The truth is, I was afraid of what it might ask of me. My name is Harold Whitaker. I am 79 years old, and that unopened envelope from my younger brother sat beside my socks and winter gloves for nearly half my life. It arrived in the spring of 1984, folded into a plain white envelope with my name written in handwriting I would have recognized anywhere. Daniel always pressed hard with his pen, like he was trying to carve his words into the paper so they could never be erased. We had not spoken in 3 years by then. 3 years might not sound like much, but when you come from a family where you shared a bedroom, a bicycle, and sometimes even a pair of shoes, 3 years of silence feels like a continent. The fight that split us was not dramatic in the way strangers might expect. There were no broken windows or police cars. It was a kitchen table argument after our father's funeral. We were both exhausted, both grieving, both certain we were right. The subject was money, but the truth was pride. Daniel believed I had controlled too much of our father's care in his final months. I believed Daniel had stayed away too long and returned only to criticize. Words were said that should never be spoken between brothers. I told him he had no right to question me. He told me I had always needed to be in charge. We stood up from that table and walked in opposite directions, each convinced the other would eventually apologize. When the letter arrived 3 years later, I was standing in my small kitchen with my wife, Margaret. She handed it to me and said, "It's from Daniel." I remember the way my stomach tightened. I turned the envelope over in my hands. It was not thick, it was not heavy. Just a few sheets of paper, most likely. I could have opened it right there. Instead, I said I would read it later. I slid it into the drawer beside the refrigerator, the one where we kept spare batteries and takeout menus. Later became tomorrow. Tomorrow became next week. And then something